Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's Planalytics Agriculture Podcast. I'm Jeff Doran, Senior Business Meteorologist, and I'll provide color on last week's weather and the outlook for the next 2 weeks and its impact on agriculture. Well, last week across the U.S., it was the third coolest initial week of August in the past 10 years and the coolest since 2004, with nearly all regions experiencing temperatures below their 10-year average. While precipitation amounts were near that average, there were considerable regional differences. New England had its driest first week of August since 2002, which was a nice respite to their very wet summer, while the Mountain West had its wettest since 2005. The week began with intense heat still lingering in the west, although coastal cities in the Pacific Northwest had temperatures closer to normal. Farmers and ranchers, however, were in for a welcome change as an unusually strong area of low pressure for this time of year made its way into the west, cooling temperatures considerably. 24-hour temperature changes were between about 15 and 25 degrees west to east throughout the week. Strong showers and thunderstorms, most of which were severe, were prevalent across the northern Rockies, the plains, and the upper Midwest during the week. Heavy rains from Minnesota to Michigan were beneficial against the growing drought. A series of disturbances made their way southward out of the Canadian prairies, bringing invasions of cooler air and accompanied by stormy weather ahead of them. The Midwest and the Northeast remained on the cool side of normal most of the week, keeping growth rates behind schedule. The Southeast had temperatures on the warm side, but with readings close to normal. It was wet in many areas, but particularly in Florida, which experienced daily tropical rains. Late week, a dome of very hot air in the southwest surged northeast, beginning late Friday into Saturday, first in the Midwest and then making it to the East Coast by Sunday. It was for most the hottest weather of the summer, with heat index readings ranging from about 95 to 105. Conditions were even more extreme further south, with those heat index readings up to 110 from the mid-south eastward into the Carolinas, where heat stress was quite high. Scattered showers and thunderstorms fell ahead of the warm front across the northern tier from the Great Lakes to the mid-Atlantic, producing heavy rains and local flooding in many of those areas. Meanwhile, a strong cold front pushed its way across the northern Rockies and plains this weekend, dropping temperatures an average of 10 to 15 degrees across this area, a welcome break from the scorching heat of the past 2 weeks. So what's in store for this week? Well, the intense heat is expected to be well established to start the week in most of the primary growing regions, with many locations expected to reach near 100 degrees. Those strong heat index readings up to 105 across the eastern Corn Belt will provide crops a much-needed boost. In the east, temperatures are expected to be the warmest of the entire summer, with readings in the low to mid-90s and accompanied by very humid conditions. Heat index readings will approach 100 Monday and Tuesday, providing some above normal growing degree days. However, relief will come in the form of a cold front sweeping first into the Midwest and then to the East Coast by midweek, dropping temperatures to more normal readings, but still feeling summer-like with readings in the 80s. The potential for severe weather is likely ahead of this front. You can expect periods of wet weather up and down the eastern seaboard, particularly later in the week, due to the interaction of the cold front with a northward surge of tropical moisture, and the southeast will also be quite wet. After initial warm-up in the northwest, temperatures should trend cooler than normal. That'll be a relief for orchard farmers, along with less stressful conditions for the chickens, the pigs, and the cattle. The tropics have been rather quiet to date. In fact, this is the longest early season without a named storm in the Atlantic since 1992. That said, activity off of Africa currently will bear some close watching during the week. As we head into next week, the pattern supports typical summer conditions across all the U.S. Strong summer high pressure will reestablish in the Intermountain West, producing temperatures above normal in most interior and western locations. Highs will be well into the 90s, with the hundreds quite common from Texas into the western high plains. Heat stress could again take its toll on agriculture in these areas. In the east, frequent disturbances combined with tropical moisture will make for yet another wet week in the Midwest and up and down the East Coast and into the southeast. Periods of severe weather are likely, and temperatures will remain near normal. While warmer than the prior week, temperature readings in the coastal west should remain close to normal with strong heat in the interior valleys. It does appear the tropics will finally be getting quite active, with a high potential for tropical storm development in the Atlantic. We're really focused this year on the East Coast and the Southeast, so we'll be watching it very closely, and we'll provide tropical alerts as warranted. That will wrap up this week's report. If you have questions, please feel free to contact me at 610-407-2914 or your Planalytics representative. Thanks and have a great day.